Today I want to talk about love language. There's 5 love languages. Um, I'm looking at my notes. One is words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, um, acts of service, and receiving gifts. There's probably a few more, but you know, I don't know. But those are the main ones, so we're gonna talk about those. And so, what I think um, acts of service would be something that you do for the other person, like taking his car to get serviced, or while he takes a nap, or while I, or while a woman, is taking a nap. He watches the children, or he washes dishes, or cleans up the house, or things that you normally do, um, and then that other person just comes and does it for you, let you relax for the day, and they do some of your chores, and vice versa. um, and then quality time. uh, that's an important one. That's probably a deal breaker with a lot of relationships, but people need to know what their quality time means. I think every affirmation means something different to each person. So, um, with the communication in a relationship, you have to make sure that you talk about that. Uh, and so, what did I just say? Oh yeah, the quality time. That's important to a lot of people. Quality time is when you get together and you do something special for each other. You know, you hang out together. Quality time could be even in the shower, washing each other's back, you know, anything that you do together, going out on dates with each other, giving each other massages. Um, Shoot, there's a lot of things that you can do with quality time. Just sitting in each other's company. Sometimes you can be silent, watching a movie together, or just in each other's presence and just, relaxing and not saying anything. You don't always have to be in a conversation to spend quality time. Just being in that person's presence, and their energy. Sometimes that's quality time. And then physical touch. That's a big one. Some people don't like to be touched in relationships. They think you're doing too much, or if you touch and then now, other stuff got to happen. And that's not necessarily true. Um, some people like to be touched, a shoulder rub or hugs. That's a big one for me. I love a good hug. So, that. Um, when you're riding in the car and you put your hand on his lap, or he does that, you hold hands while you're driving, or you lean over and touch his cheek, or whatever, just touching. Some people just love to be touched every day, all day, and that's important. Like, this love language is something that has to be spoken every single day. Like, this is a language, and so you got to be mindful and remember that this is what this person needs to be happy and to know that I love them. And so, um, touching could be the slap on the booty when walking out the door. Touch can be, rubbing on his beard, if he has one. You know, touching can be, it can be live. Okay. All right. Anyway, um, and then words of affirmation. That is important too. say some nice things. Always affirm, your love for someone. Um, Let them know. Say, I love you. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Tell them that they're doing a good job. I appreciate you, babe, for taking that trash out. You do not miss a day. That garbage truck ain't never missed you. You always making sure that happens. Or for her, you can be like, dang, baby, you be keeping the house clean. Like, you ain't playing. You was talking about the baseboards be clean. And that little piece around the toilet. You got to pay attention to the small things and tell somebody that you saw that, and then that helps them know that you're really into them. You saw what they did, you know? And then what was the other one? Receiving gifts. Who don't like a good gift? You know, um, that's not hard. Gifts don't have to be bought. Sometimes gifts can be made. You can make some cookies and put them in a tin can and put a little bow around it. And hell, if you can knit a hat. If people wear beanies and put his initial on it, or you know, man, gifts can be anything. Anything from your heart is a gift that you give to someone. It's something obtainable, something you got to hold usually. But I mean, hey, you can tell somebody something good, and that's a gift too. It depends on the love language. It depends on what that person's love language is. And when you get in a relationship, those are some of the talks that you need to be talking about is language. What is your love language? What gets you going? What makes you just feel good? What makes you feel important in this relationship? Um, those are questions that you have to ask. Those are, you know, um, find out the love language. That is crucial to know. Um, what else? Shoot. There's so many ways that people can express how they love somebody, but ask. That you need to ask, because you can spend your whole time trying to do stuff for someone, say something for somebody, and they just take it with stride, like and you're like, dang, I'm not even getting through to this person. What's the problem? It's because you're not understanding each other's love language. But if you ask in advance, you have those talks and those open communications, you'll know what the love language is, and then you guys can get along so much better. Men, where's my notes? Oh, men are logical people. Women are emotional people. And so when you put the logic and the emotional together, sometimes there's a misunderstanding. But if you got the love language, you got transparency, you got communication, and you got honesty, loyalty, all them things, you're headed for success in your relationship. Most definitely. So I'm just saying, that's what's up. Get your love language down, so you can so you can have a successful relationship. Now I know I only stated 5. There's probably several different kinds of, um, you know, languages and thing attributes that can be added. And if you know some more, and it may help somebody, add them on down in the comments. Put them on in there. The extra questions or the extra attributes that will help somebody in their love language, because we don't take time in relationships to really find people's love languages. Like we don't really be we don't be invested enough to want to know the love language. And I think that's a big part of, being successful in a relationship is the language that you speak to each other. Not the fact that you have enough respect to speak softly and kindly, in the relationship, but you also need to know love language, And you may have a combination. You may like acts of service, and you might like physical touch, and you might like what's the other ones? Quality time. So all three of them can be, you know, that can be fire. You can be, that's man, that might spark a flame or something if you've got the combination kind of love language. So don't just narrow yourself down to just one. You may have a couple, but your partner needs to know that you have a couple so they don't always try to have to figure you out. Okay? So, yeah, I just want to talk to you about love language, see what yours is, and how can I help you figure it out, you know? It's important to have some love language. So, what's yours? What is your love language? And how important do you think it is in a relationship to be able to speak your partner's love language? Well, you've been listening to Lava Stone from my point of view. And learn to speak your love language.